We often move through our days assuming that our comfort is a permanent state. We expect the temperature to be perfect, the food to be available, and the conveniences of modern life to remain uninterrupted. But what happens to the mind when it becomes entirely dependent on these things? When we tie our sense of well-being to external luxury, we inadvertently hand over the keys to our peace of mind to fortune. Seneca, the Roman Stoic, recognized that this dependency is a subtle form of imprisonment. He argued that the fear of losing what we possess is often more painful than the reality of losing it. To break this cycle, he proposed a radical yet simple exercise known as the poverty practice. In his 18th letter to his friend Lucilius, Seneca offers a piece of advice that sounds jarring to our modern ears. He suggests that we set aside a few days each month to live on the coarsest of food and wear the roughest of clothes. During this time, he asks us to say to ourselves, "Is this the condition I feared?" The goal here is not to become a beggar, nor is it to romanticize suffering for its own sake. It is a calculated reset. It is a way to prove to your own mind that your happiness is not tethered to your material surroundings. When you deliberately step away from the comforts you take for granted, you strip away the illusion that you cannot function without them. Consider the psychological weight of constant comfort. When you are always cushioned, the slightest inconvenience, a delayed train, a cold room, a missing luxury, can feel like a major crisis. This is what the Stoics call a fragility of the soul. We become soft, not just in our habits, but in our character. We spend so much energy protecting our comfort that we forget how to endure. By practicing voluntary discomfort, you are effectively inoculating yourself against the fear of future misfortune. This is the core of the Stoic concept known as praemeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. By contemplating and even briefly experiencing potential hardships, you remove their sting. You realize that you possess an inner reservoir of resilience that is untouched by your bank account, your status, or your physical environment. This practice is not meant to be a permanent change in lifestyle. Seneca is not telling you to abandon your home or your work. He is telling you to maintain a healthy distance. Think of it as a tactical retreat. By voluntarily choosing a day of simplicity, you are training your mind to be indifferent to luxury. You are learning that you can be content, even when the external world is not providing exactly what you want. When you return to your normal life the following day, you don't just go back to the same state as before. You return with a new perspective. You savor your meals more deeply, you appreciate your shelter with gratitude, and, most importantly, you no longer fear the possibility of their absence. You have detached your sense of self from the fluctuating nature of material things. So, how do we apply this today? It does not require a grand gesture. This weekend, choose one day to simplify. Eat only the most basic, nourishing meals. Set aside the digital distractions that keep you constantly stimulated and tethered to the world of noise. Avoid the unnecessary luxuries you usually rely on to distract yourself from boredom. Spend the time in stillness, or perhaps in reflection. When you feel that slight irritation, that voice inside saying, "This is not enough," pause. Observe that feeling. Recognize it as the fear of losing comfort, and then remind yourself that you are still here, you are still capable, and your character remains intact. You will find that the discomfort is nowhere near as heavy as you imagined it to be. In that realization lies a profound sense of freedom. You are no longer a slave to your own comforts. You have reclaimed your autonomy, and in doing so you have moved one step closer to that state of ataraxia, a mind truly untroubled by things outside your control. Ataraxia, Daily is here to help you cultivate that inner stillness. One Stoic lesson at a time. If you found value in this, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for our next lesson.